Hello and good afternoon, everyone. So for those students who are still not finished with their task in practical research 2, this is what you need to do. So you just need to open your Google Classroom in your phone entitled Practical Research 2. Afterwards, after clicking, you can see the template or the task that you need to do. Remember, I already graded you. And what you need to do is to finish all the lacking tasks in this section. Now, if you did not pass the test template creation, it means that you still don't have the grade for this part, including the not exam pointers, uh, the survey interpretation, so on and so forth. So again, you need to fill in all the tasks given in the Google Classroom. And in regards with your thesis template creation, this is how it look like. So ang gagawin dito is you need to change the title of your research. So this is my previous research before when I was still studying here. And then followed by, you change your name here, including the date or the month of the creation, including the year right now. Then followed by, we have the chapter 1. Remember, we have chapter 1 to 6. What you need to do is to start with chapter 1. We have the problem, introduction. And in order for you to have the guide on how to do it, how to fill in the paragraphs here, I also provided the link for you to open if ever you wanted a guide. Okay? So again, just open the practical research 2, and then nakalagay dito thesis template creation. Tapos sa thesis template creation nakalagay doon ang instruction. Ang instruction dito is you need to edit for the final template and you need to submit in this subject followed by the link. Ang link na ito is this one. This is the content of the link. This will guide you on how to make the thesis. This is also the template. So what you need is what you need to do in the subject or in this chapter is copy the text here, then paste this one in your thesis template. You just need to change based on the category or based on the subject you have. So you can say here, for example, me, when I conducted my research before, when I was still in college, we are conducting the study about the challenges encountered in sentence construction and usage by learners of English as second language for the first batch of pivotal program at Southeastern College of Padada. So since this is my title, you also need to change this one, followed by, in this part, ito yung rationale. Pag sinabing rationale, same also with the introduction. So our introduction stated that English, the most widely, so on and so forth. So you can also try to change in your case. So for example, yung topic mo is about the addiction of K-drama. So you need to introduce here. You can say, the addiction of K-drama is blah blah choo choo. So that's the way how you start. Okay na ko ha? Okay, repeat one more time. Sa chapter 1, ito yung the problem. Ang gagawin dito is you need to fill in the introduction. You need to introduce your topic. All right? So give me one page of the introduction of the topic you have. Okay na ko ha? So again, repeat mo? Repeat, ano ang chapter 1? Chapter 1, we have problem. Anong gagawin? Gagawa ng introduction. Paano gagawa ng introduction? So you need to introduce your topic, your research title. I mean, your research pala. Okay? Pagka natapos na ang chapter 1, dadako tayo sa statement of the problem. Ang statement of the problem here, you will tell us ano ba yung kinandak na study. So remember, you just need to follow the given first sentence. This study research aims to find out. So ano bang goal? Bakit mo kinandak yung study mo? So you need to explain here. Again, anong purpose? Again, repeat one more time ha. Pag sinabing statement of the problem, naka-indicate dito, ano ba ang goal? Bakit ba? Anong reason bakit kinandak ang study? For example, one more time, if you are talking about the addiction of K-drama, so you will tell in this chapter or in this section, what's the reason why you wanted to know why students are addicted with the K-drama? Okay na ko ha? Again, ito yung statement of the problem. After mapunain is dadako tayo sa research questions. Again, meron tayong research question. Remember, you only have 3 questions. So just remove the 4th and also the 5th line here because you only have 3 questions. So one more time, ang isusulat dito ay ang tatlong research question. Question number 1, research question number 2, and research question number 3. Okay? Kapag katapos na, dadako tayo sa next page. We have here the hypothesis. So as you know, your hypothesis is stated in the 3rd question of your research questions. Kabilang siya sa research problem. So ano yung i-hypothesize nyo doon? So naka-indicate doon, this study tested the hypothesis that you just need to copy, for example, you have research question 1, 2, and 3. So ang gagawin is, you just need to copy ang research question number 3, then ilagay dito. Okay, nakuha? Yun yung hypothesis. Okay? And then after that one, we will move on to the significance of the study. Now, sa significance of the study, dadako tayo sa example namin dito noon before. Is second here, objectives. This one. Balik muna tayo sa hypothesis ha. Okay, sa my example before sa research, with my research before when I was still in college, we had the hypothesis here. What you need is, there is not a significant relationship. So this is our hypothesis before, and your hypothesis is also given in your research question number 3. So you just need to explain here, you just need to copy rather the hypothesis, then explain a little bit. Ako ha? And then, yung pang-apat is, meron tayong significance of the study. So the same din dito. What naman? Okay, theoretical framework. Okay, this one. So significance of the study, meron tayo dito. Okay, first one is the school. Ano ba ang significance? Remember, pag sinabing significance, that it talks about the importance. Ano ba ang kahalagahan ng iyong research sa school, sa teachers, sa students, at most especially is sa ating future researchers. Okay, one more time. Ang isusulat sa significance of the study is you need to talk about ano ba ang importansya if ever you finish that study to the school, to the teachers, as well as to the students and future researchers. So you can start this one. Significance of the study, benefiting the study are the various sectors as follows. First one is the school. So ano ba ang contribution or ang importansya ng yung study sa school? So you can say, the information they may get from this study may be used as reference on the implementation of K-12, so on and so forth. If ever, dako naman tayo sa teachers, ano ba ang importansya nito if ever it will be used for teachers? So you can say, this study provides additional information that will enable them to design, so on and so forth. So again, the main concept here is you need to tell us what's the significance of the study if we're talking about the school, the teachers, the students, and also with the future researchers. Okay, nakuha? Okay, that's nice. And then, dako tayo sa next part, we have the scope and the limitation of the study. Remember, kapag sinabing scope and the limitation, it talks about saan ba ang limitation, saan ba yung scope. Pag sinabing scope, yung boundary ng yung study. Okay, so going back again to our research before, when we conducted this study, the scope and the limitation of the study, it talks about where is the location of the study conducted. For example, this study did not include other colleges schools in the Philippines. This is mainly focused on second-year college. So for you, for example, going back again to the topic about anong topic ng kagaling ka, Kyle, yung topic here is about addiction of K-drama. So you can say, where is the study conducted? So you will start, the study is conducted in the island Garden City of Samal, province of Davao del Norte, so on and so forth. And who are those respondents? You will describe here, there are two respondents to classification. First one is we have the grade 11 or it could be the grade 12. So you just explain here. Again, you need to explain sino yung mga respondents sa scope and the limitation of the study. Sino yung saklaw ng yung study. Okay na ko ha? Then after na-discuss, is dako naman tayo sa this one, definition of terms. Pagka sinabing definition of terms is you need to define, okay, or explain ano ba yung mga terms na ginamit sa iyong study. Okay, so pag sinabing terms, you will refer those terms to the topic or to the title of your research. Okay, for example, since the title of our research is about the challenges encountered in sentence construction with our previous students before, so we need to tell in this area what is K-12 program, and then what is the language construction and usage, what is linguistic difficulties. Now, kay Kyle naman, kasi ang title kay Kyle is, he is talking about, or he is studying about the K-drama addiction. So you will tell there, what is K-drama? Okay, so you need to explain what is addiction. All right, so this is the content. So again, the technical terms will base on the concepts or the words used in your research. Ako ha? Okay, that's good. So again, remember, the definition of terms, you can say this one. Operational and conceptual definition of terms in this study were used to clarify the meaning of these words. The following terms are defined and the purpose of understanding its use in this study. So this is the way how you try to create the definition of terms. Okay, nakuha? If you have questions, again, just try to write a message on me. Okay? Now, kapag katapos na is, dadako naman tayo sa chapter 2. Again, balik muna tayo sa chapter 1. Kapag sinabing chapter 1, it includes the introduction, it's the rationale, followed by we have the statement of the problem. Ang pangatlo naman is we have the hypothesis. Pang-apat is the significance of the study. Panglima is the scope and the limitation of the study. Yung pang-anim is definition of terms. So after na-create ang 6 areas ng chapter 1, you will move on to chapter 2. So ano ba ang chapter 2? Sa chapter 2, nakapaloob dito ang review of related literature or ang RRL. So you also need to describe, explain a little bit about your RRL. So you can see this one. You can copy this one in the link that I provided in your GC. This chapter represents the review of related literature and studies and have important bearing under the present investigation. So it provides insights to the researcher in furthering the study. So again, remember, ang review of related literature is ito yung mga researcher before that they conducted the same study with you. So this will support or assess your current study. Okay, so yun yung purpose ng RRL. Bakit mo kinandak? So maybe because there was a previous study before and you wanted to prove or to give more explanation or elaboration in their study. Okay, ano yung gagawin? So remember, sa research is RRL, mayroon tayong tatlong RRL na dapat supposedly gagawin. Una is meron tayong local. Okay, remember, these are the related literature based on your local, the way where you live currently, followed by the national RRL, and then we have the international RRL. But what Ma'am Gloria told to you is you just need to search 3 RRL. So it could be local, national, or international. Okay, so in that way here, you need to say this one according to, for example, kay Kyle is yung topic niya is about addiction. So you can say, according to Abraham Maslow, addiction was blah blah chuchu. So you need to explain here. Then you need to fill in also the content of their study here. So you just need to copy and paste the text inside the table, the RRL matrix in your other classroom. Nakuha? Kapag katapos na is, dadako naman tayo sa chapter 3, nakapaloob dito ang research methodology. So remember, you are done already with your research methodology. Kapag sinabing methodology is the way, the process, the way how you conducted your research. Now, nakapaloob dito is this chapter deals. Remember, kapag kasusulat, for example, sa taas, nandito ang ating chapter 3, di ba? Including the chapter 3, including the chapter title. Pagkatapos ng chapter title is isusulat niyo dito ang brief description ng chapter. Okay, for example, sa chapter 3 is about research methodology. So you need to write here, this chapter deals with the research methodology of the study. So it describes the research environment, the subject, sampling procedure, and the research instrument. So lahat ng ginawa nyo during the creation or the conduct of your study, so you need to fill in here. First one is you have the research local. So supposedly, you need to fill in here, the study was conducted in. So again, saan kinonduct yung study? So you will say, the study was conducted in. For example, kay Kyle, his study was conducted here in our school. So he will say, the study was conducted in IGB Samuel Function House and Training Center, so on and so forth. Okay? And then followed by, we have the subjects. Okay. So ano bang subject nito? So the subjects of the study were the, so sino ba, kay Kyle, balik tayo kay Kyle, the topic he is researching is about the K-12, the K-drama addiction. So sino ba yung mga subject doon? So it could be the grade 11 or grade 12 students of IGB Samuel Function House. So you need to explain here who are the subjects. Sino ba ang main purpose? Sino ba ang respondents? Again, sino ba ang subject? Pag sinabing subject, ang pinagtutuunan ng pansin sa inyong study. Okay? Pagkatapos is dadako tayo sa sampling procedure. Alam naman natin in the previous discussion, we talk about systematized random sampling, systematic random sampling. We have snowball sampling method and so on and so forth. So we discussed different sampling methods. So we will need to explain here what procedure you use. So una, the respondents of this study were drawn from a population using the anong klaseng sampling method ang ginamit. Okay, so explain here. Pagkatapos meron tayong research instrument. Pag sinabing instrument, anong instrument ang ginamit para makuha ang data? For example, we have kay Kyle. Kay Kyle, he uses uh, the survey, right? So you need to explain here. And for those sa academic naman is academic performance, you just need to explain that you use the grades or the performance of the school of the students rather than you get the information to the students of the respective schools you chooses. Okay? Or you choose rather. Okay? So, pagkatapos ng research instrument is nandito naman tayo sa research procedure. Now, sa procedure, it talks about ano ba ang ginawa, paano kinuha. So, you will say the researcher went to the school, anong klaseng school? So you can say for the Tagbitan Ag, you say the researcher went to Tagbitan Ag National High School. They talk about, they give information to the students, so on and so forth. So this is the way how you try to write the research procedures. Again, you need to write here ano ang dapat gawin, ano ang ginawa during the acquisition or pagkuha ng yung data. And afterwards is pupunta tayo sa statistical treatment. Pag sinabing statistical treatment, this will talk about the statistics information of your data. Now, you can say here, the data were gathered or tabulated and treated statistically. So this is wrong, typographical error, right after the research instrument and administered to the respondents. Now, what you need to do here is you need to explain anong ginamit nyo. Okay, remember, you use the t-test, right? So you just explain here. Okay, nakuha? Okay, yun yung chapter 2. Okay, repeat one more time. Sorry, chapter 3 rather. Okay, sa chapter 3, nandito ang research methodology. So, under research methodology, we have here the research local. It talks about where did you conducted your study. The subject, sino yung mga pinagtutuunan ng pansin. Pangatlo is the sampling procedure. Paano ginawa ang paano choose rather yung subject? How did your respondents choosen? Apat is we have the research instrument. Anong ginamit? And panglima is the research procedure. Ano yung procedures? And yung pang-anim is yung anong klaseng statistical data ang ginamit or treatment. So we'll say here, you use the t-test. Okay, you just search in the internet what is t-test and you pasted here. Okay, nakuha? So again, if you have questions, just let me know. Then dadako naman tayo sa chapter 4. Sa chapter 4, nandito ang presentation, analysis, and interpretation of data. Now today, I'll be teaching you how to write or how to tabulate rather or compute the data you gathered. Okay? Now, here, dako tayo kay Ken Carlo Mascareñas. So his research was the topic that we try to answer or model in your case. Okay, now here, kay Ken Carlo Mascareñas, remember, he has different questions from question 1 to 10, but meron siyang topic. Ang topic ni Ken is about, if I'm mistaken, is about addiction of watching anime. So what you need to do in your tabulation of data is you need to write the questions here, followed by the total number or the items of question, then the question 1 to up to 10. Again, question 1 to 10. And then pagkatapos naman is dito is meron tong respondents. You need to divide the boys and also the girls. Okay, remember, you only have 20 respondents, right? So let it make it smaller. Okay, second here. Okay, so again, you just need to write rather the questions from 1 to 10. Okay, let me make it smaller first. Just a second. Okay, this one. Now, again, repeat ko muna. Ang gagawin is you need to write first. Yung pinakauna, yung table number. Ano ang title? So, the title here is the reasons. Bakit? Because ang question ni Ken is about reasons. Now, ang title ng iyong research table will depend upon the contents of your questions. Okay? Pagkatapos nito is you need to write the task items, yung questions from 1 to 20. Tapos you need to write the respondents, the boys and girls. Don't worry, I already write this one. You just need to fill in the data you have. Okay, so from boys 1 to 10, 11 to 20. So anong answer? As you know, in the questionnaire or the survey you have, di ba, pag merong question, pipili ka ng 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Pag sinabing 1, it could be strongly disagree, agree, disagree, neutral, so on and so forth, chuchu. So that's the way how you rate, right? So you just need to fill in the numbers or the answer from all of your respondents from 1 to 20. So sulat mo lang dito. Kapag ka natapos na lahat, nasulat na lahat ng respondents, answer ng respondents is you need to get the mean. Pag sinabing mean, ito yung average. Okay, taken is meron siyang 1, 2, at 3. Yung 1 is, ibig sabihin doon is yun yung agree. Okay? Yung 2 naman is yung neutral, yung 3 is disagree. Now, to check or to answer the question of Ken, because the first question of Ken is that, again, yung title kay Ken is the reasons of anime addiction among the students of, let's say, Summer Senior High School. Ang unang tanong is, what are the reasons, what are the, I mean, it could be, what are the reasons of watching anime of students Summer Senior High School? Now, to check or to answer that question, of course, we need to answer first, or we need to know first the data in this table. Okay? So, this one, since we get the mean, pag sinabing mean, yun yung average na answer ng mga bata, ng mga estudyante, ng mga respondents. Ang sabi nila is 1.30. So under 1.30, saan siya na-fall? Under siya sa agree. Because remember, from 0 to 1.4, this represents agree, so on and so forth. Now, you just need to compute the average score here, then it will be interpreted. So out from that one, you can answer the questions already. So you can say that the reasons of uh, why students watching anime is, first one, they agree that watching anime is fun, enjoyable. So you can say that one. Then you can say anime is addictive. So that's the way how you answer your questions based on the data of the table. Okay, nakuha? Now, repeat one more time. Ang mean is, it's already computed, it's already programmed, so you don't need to worry. It will automatically compute the data. Sa interpretation naman is, you need to manually put here the word. What's the interpretation? Okay, mano-mano ha? So you need to put, as what Ma'am wrote before, you need to interpret. Okay, if it was again from 0 to 1.4, it could be agree. 1.5 to 2.4, it's disagree. I don't know if that's the correct interpretation. So just review again the table, the data that had been presented to you before. Okay, sa SD naman, ito naman siya is, don't worry with this part. Kasi pag sinabing SD, it talks about standard deviation. Kapag sinabing standard deviation, gaano kalayo ang answer nila sa mean. Ginhaga. For example, watching anime is fun and enjoyable. Ang answer ko is 1. Then ang answer ng karamihan is 2. Pag sinabi 1 is agree, ang answer ng karamihan is 2. So, the purpose ng standard deviation is to check how far you are from the mean. Okay, so again, gaano ka kalayo sa answer ng karamihan. Yun yung purpose. But don't worry with the SB because the main point here is the mean and the interpretation. Nakuha? And then dako naman tayo sa table number 2 kasi tapos na ang table number 1. Sa table number 2 is the same pa din. You just need to copy. But what you need to do is you need to separate the answers of the boys and also the girls. Okay? So kasi kanina is we mixed, we joined together the boys and girls. 'Di ba dito? Then isa lang ang interpretation. However, sa table 2 naman is nakaseparate sila. Iba yung interpretation ng boys, iba rin ang interpretation ng girls. Bakit? Because in question number 3, you stated, you hypothesized that there is no significant relationship between the reasons of anime addiction between boys and girls. So yun yung reason bakit nakaseparate siya. Okay, nakuha? So once you do this one, so it will tell us, oh, iba pala ang reason bakit naging addict ang mga estudyante kumpara sa boys, because sa boys sinabi nila agree sila na watching anime is fun and enjoyable, but however sa mga babae naman sinabi nilang neutral lang, so iba ang answer nila. So your answer here, there is a significant difference, so your hypothesis is not correct. So that's the way how you answer yung yung question number 1, 2, and 3. Ako ha? Okay, that's good. So after ninyo after you answer your the table, you need to go back to chapter 4. We have the presentation, analysis, interpretation of data. Okay? So you will explain here, this chapter represents the analysis and interpretation of the gathered data. So you also need to explain here. Okay? So example, let me go back again here. Ano naman? Okay, dako tayo sa interpretation ng data. Okay, this one. Now, this is my table before, so you just need to no, that's not the research local. This one. Okay, we have chapter 4 or chapter 5 rather, right? So explain here. This one dako tayo doon one moment. Okay, this one. So you just need to explain here yung table. For example, the scale means and so forth. Okay, saan yung table here? Okay, this one. So you explain the table. Okay, in the upper part, there's a table here. That's why. So this study will conduct so on so forth. That's the research local. But the main point here is you explain you need to explain the table. You need to interpret. Okay, that's the way how you answer. Okay, nakuha? So after that one, you copy the table in your spreadsheet, then you paste it here. And then, okay, nakuha? Okay, repeat ha, baka nalilito. Okay, repeat one more time. Kapag sinabing chapter 4, nandito ang presentation, analysis, and interpretation of data. So what you need to do here is that you do or you make your table dito sa tally. After na tally is you need to copy the table here, then you need to explain here. Ano bang meaning ng table? Ano bang purpose ng table? Okay, so you will explain the table. Yun yung point there. So you can say there are, let me give you example this one. Boys said that they agree that they are addicted with anime because they agree that watching anime is fun and enjoyable. They also stated that watching programs give feelings of satisfaction, so on and so forth. However, some students said that they say it's neutral for them to be addicted because first one is anime is addictive. So they said it's neutral. They also stated, so you need to combine lahat ng nag-agree, lahat ng nag-disagree, lahat ng neutral. So wala pa lang disagree. Agree, neutral. Okay, so yun yung way on how to create, okay, or interpret your data. Okay, nakuha? So after na-interpret is we have here the chapter 5, summary of findings and recommendations. So since you have the data already, you can answer the questions from question 1, research question number 1, 2, and 3. So anong gagawin dito? This chapter presents the summary, findings, and conclusions, and recommendations of the study. So you will create the summary here. The summarization, the main purpose of this study was to determine, ano yung i-determine? So anong goal ng study mo? So you just explain here. Okay? Anong pinaka-main goal? Pagkatapos is isulat mo again dito, ano yung questions, research question mo, yung question number 1, 2, and 3. So just sulat lang agad. Ulit rather. And then you also write here your hypothesis. So it tested the hypothesis that blah blah choo choo. So however, that's your hypothesis but you need to put your findings here. Ano bang hypothesis? Tama ba yung hypothesis mo? Hindi. Okay, so panglima is we have the findings. So you will explain the findings. So you will put all your answer because sa taas, sinulat mo lang yung question. Habang sa findings, isusulat mo yung answer ng questions dito sa baba. Then conclusion, based on the findings, the research conduct concluded that. So anong masasabi mo? For example, sa anime addiction. So you concluded that there is a significant difference between boys and girls. Tapos na-addict pala ang mga bata because they say that it's good for their health and so forth. So you conclude here, you write your conclusion. Ano masasabi mo? Okay? Then last part is we have the recommendation. So since you have already the topic, for example, dako tayo kay Kyle, we have the the anime addiction, right? So in that case, what can you recommend for those students who are addicted with anime? So ano bang ma-recommend mo? So it could be i-control their time para hindi sila ma-addict. So we have time management. So you just need to put here what can you recommend for them so that they will not be addicted. Yun yung point here. Again, anong masasabi mo? What can you recommend? That's the point of the recommendation. Okay? So repeat muna tayo. Dako tayo sa chapter number 5. Sa chapter number 5, nakapaloob dito ang summary of findings and recommendations. Okay? Sa summary is nakapaloob dito ang anong reason bakit kinandak ang study. Alright? And followed by what are the research question. Pagkatapos nito, isulat dito ang hypothesis and then you will also write here the findings of the hypothesis. Kung tama ba ang hypothesis na ginawa mo. Because sinabi ng hypothesis mo, there is no significant difference. But kapag merong significant difference, you put the answer here. And next part is we have the findings. Pag sinabing findings, you will answer the questions in the upper part. So you will put your answer here. Nakuha? Then pagkatapos malagay ang findings, meron tayong conclusion. So ilagay dito anong conclusion, ano masasabi mo once you are finished conducting your research. And followed by recommendation. Since, for example, the students are addicted, so what can you recommend so that they will not be addicted? So yun yung gagawin. Nakuha? Pagkatapos noon is dadako tayo sa reference. Kapag sinabing reference, sino yung mga RRL? Remember sa reference, you will base your reference in the RRL that you have. Remember, Ma'am Glo asked you to write the table metrics right with your RRL, including the author, the title of the research, and also the link. So you need to put it here. Okay? So yun yung reference. You just copy paste here. Nakuha? So kapag ka na-copy na ang reference is dadako tayo sa questionnaire. Yung questionnaire nyo is, remember, we give you some questionnaire. You just need to put in here the questionnaire. So ilagay lang ang questionnaire, i-copy-paste lang. Okay? And since you already have the printed copy, so just i-attach na lang siya. Kapag ka, tapos na gawin lahat. Tapos Appendix A, ilagay dito ang letter to principal. So gumawa tayo ng letter, right? Letter ng principal para sa atin, then letter ng principal para sa other school. So you just need to put it here sa Appendix A. Sa Appendix B is yung table of computations. Ibig sabihin, you just need to copy the table here and paste it in your final research template. Okay? Pagkatapos is yun. That's the end of our discussion. Okay? So let's have a summarization first before you gagawin because you already started. So repeat lang muna tayo. So again, ang unang gagawin is you need to go to saan ka pupunta? Saan pupunta? Pupunta tayo sa Google Classroom. Pagkatapos sa Google Classroom, anong gagawin? Dadako tayo sa subject ng practical research 2. Then i-click natin yung thesis template. Okay? Kapag ka na-click na is, you will open the link here, this one, yung gagawin mo. Then, in order for you to be guided, meron tayong template kung saan it's already the finished product. So, you just copy, you just open, then copy some words which can be applicable in your study. Okay? Now, dako tayo sa thesis template. Ang gagawin dito is, you need to change the title of yours, followed by your name, and then yung year at buwan kung kailan siya ginawa. Then sa chapter 1, nakapaloob ang introduction, followed by statement of the problem. Pangatlo is we have the hypothesis. Pang-apat is significance of study. And pang-lima is the scope and the limitation. Yung pang-anim is definition of terms. Okay? Pagkatapos na daka tayo sa chapter 2. Sa chapter 2, nandito ang RRL. Again, sa chapter 2, nandito ang RRL. So you just need to copy your matrix sa table nyo para hindi na ma-worry. Pagkatapos is dako tayo sa chapter 3 na nakapaloob dito ang research methodology. Kapag sinabing methodology, it talks about the processes when you conducted your research. It talks about the research local, the subjects, followed by the sampling procedure. Pang-apat is the research instrument. Pang-lima is research procedure. Pang-anim is yung statistical treatment. Okay? Sa chapter 4 naman is nandito ang presentation, analysis, and interpretation of data. Okay? So you just need to compute first your table here. Pagkatapos na, you need to put it back in the this one. And then chapter 5, summary of findings and recommendations. So you need to put here the summary, okay, yung research question, followed by findings. Yung sagot ng findings here, anong conclusion mo, anong recommendation mo, tapos yung reference, yung RRL, meaning yung link rather ng RRL mo. Okay, so remember, we start with the authors. Again, remember ha, sa reference, unahin ang author, followed by yung anong title ng book nila, followed by the year, when was it created. Again ha, okay, repeat. Paggagawa ng reference, una isulat anong isulat? Okay, ang authors. Followed ng authors, nandito ang title ng inyong book na kinuha. Then, yung year, kailan siya pinablish. Okay? Pagkatapos ng reference, nandito ang questionnaire. So, you just need to attach. Followed by the appendix A, letter to principal, and letter B is the table of computation. Okay, nakuha? So, if you have any questions, just let me know so that ma-finish na. Remember, the final submission of your PR is on Friday. So, there's no exemption because we already provided you this thesis template more or less 2 weeks ago. Okay, so there's no exemption unless kung merong acceptable grounds. Again, thank you so much. Keep safe and have a great day. Yes, Sam.